What's up, everybody? Another wonderful Monday night at Chewin the BBQ Fat. A lot going on tonight. We got the Home Run Derby going on. We've got the couple new barbecue shows coming on Food Network tonight, starting at 9:30 or 9 to 10:30, and then 10:30 to 11:30. Big night of everything. But what is the most important of anything at all going on tonight? You guessed it, Chewin the BBQ Fat. That is the show to watch. That's what everybody's looking forward to. That's what everybody's here for. We're glad you're all here. Man, I had an absolute incredible weekend. Golly, I've missed cooking. I've missed barbecue. I've missed contests. I've missed hanging out with my friends. And I got to do every bit of that this weekend. It was absolutely incredible. Went to Festival of Discovery. Julie and Laura do an incredible job at that contest. Man, it was hot, but it didn't matter. Everybody was having so much fun, having a good time. I'll tell you what, if you have not been to Festival of Discovery in Greenwood, South Carolina, you need to make that one of your priorities. Get on that list early. It sells out fast. But it's awesome. If you will, please, right now, if you are watching this, please share this page. Share the show tonight. Let's get it out there to as many people as we can. That is the algorithm that goes by, that really works, is sharing the show. So if you can share it, that would be awesome. If you can like our our YouTube page, go ahead and like that, subscribe to that too. What's going on, Chris? How you doing? Dean, how are you? So we're going to have a fun show tonight. I'm telling you what, this show was supposed to have happened last night. Or not last night, last week. I fell down on my job, guys. I had two of my very good friends sitting in the waiting room waiting for me to come on, and I never sent the link. So I apologize to them, and it's gonna be okay. But guys, we're gonna have a great show. Hold on one second. So I gotta send Ellen a question. But it's going to be an awesome show. It's going to be so much fun. The banter that's going to go back and forth is going to be awesome. So all of that being said, if you will, make sure you comment a lot. Wes Garrett's on the show, so there goes half of our comments, right? Half of our comments are gone because Wes Garrett's on the show, and all the excitement that's happening. He's going to be in here. Maybe he'll find a way. Maybe he'll get handed to send some comments in, but it's going to be fun. So please, you asked for Robert and I to come back and to bring on some fun guests. Robert and I, we did. Well, let me just go ahead and get him on here. Let me go ahead and get on the co-host. Co-host Robert, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, buddy.
Man, they asked us last time we were here, and we had such a fun show. They asked us to bring on some fun and entertaining guests. Did they not?
You did, and I also asked that you change my contract to a 7:30 start,
which I did
for me, and you did. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a lot of things I do for the co-host to come on and make sure everybody's happy. So let's get rolling. What do you think, Robert? You ready to get rolling? Is there anything you want to say real quick before we get these other two awesome guys on? Wes, nobody cares, really. It's cool. But we got to cook together this weekend as
we did.
Fat. Man, it was just as much fun, if not more fun, than we had at Sip and Swine. Was it not? I mean, we had a ball.
Oh yeah, we had a great time. The result wasn't as good as we wanted, but I'm sure we'll talk about that. So yeah,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. But it was a good time. So let's bring on the first stinker we got. I mean, he is known as the stinker. That was a Thursday night gathering at the RV. Mr. Wes Garrett himself, also otherwise known as Stinker.
Do not get that started, Brian. That is, we don't officially want to start that from Aunt Deb, that drunken Aunt Deb that just rolled by to show people to her car. Yeah, when she said that, I knew then I'm never going to live this down.
Oh, it was awesome.
Hey,
so
wait a second. I didn't hear about the story.
Oh,
we need to cover that.
Let's move on.
I want to hear all about the stinker thing.
Well, we got to get David.
We'll wait after the show starts, and maybe we'll forget about it.
Let's bring David on, because David is going to pile onto this.
Yeah, David's still here from last Monday.
Yeah, I've been on here since last 7 days. I've been on this thing waiting room.
Welcome to the show, David. Glad you could be here. Glad you could finally join in as we get this bad boy started. Yeah, Jordan, we've got some entertainment here, but it's going to be awesome. All right, so real quick, Robert, you had left. Lex had left to go back to your RV. Yeah, go to sleep. Yeah. And Wes, and we had a bunch of people around the RV. This is Thursday night. We all got there, had a good time. Well, we see a couple walk by, they stumbling a little bit, and some other lady just comes by, and no big deal. Nobody talks. Nobody thinks anything of it. Well, as she comes by, she just carries on a full-blown conversation with all of us about what was going on. And if anybody knows Wes, you know Wes likes to stir the pot, has a good time, starts a little bit of conversation. It was awesome. And all of us there were egging it on. Well, she kept talking to Wes, and he would not let her leave. Every time she would leave, he would bring her back in. So she came on. Lie. Do what?
This is a bald-faced lie. But you go right ahead with your story.
It's great. It's getting better. So all of a sudden, during all this, she comes up, taps him on the head. Am I lying?
You're right about that.
Taps him on the head.
Taps me many times.
Oh, you stinker. You're a stinker, aren't you?
Oh, just a little stinker.
Just a little stinker.
And Kenny O'Shields, it got quiet. He happened to just chuckle under his breath, and he goes, Wes is a little stinker. And the whole place and I knew then, I'm never going to live this down.
Oh, man.
And he decided she was part of the group. She stayed there another 20 minutes.
Talking about nothing. It was great. And Hannah let everybody know that they're from Mississippi. So if y'all don't know, Wes and Hannah are from Mississippi. Now we all know that. But it was great. She had a great
and that trailer is about to get moved, Brian, by the way. I am seriously thinking about moving in here very, very soon. We had a good time. And before you get going, I just want to give a cheers to Kenny's other half of his beer. We're going to celebrate this. Kenny, this is for you, buddy.
Yeah. Poor Kenny struggled. Robert made him feel bad.
Yes, he did.
At lunch. I mean, he put him in his place. Little.
Oh, good times. Good times. I liked it when we were in the weight room for 3 hours.
I don't know what is.
I'm getting some stickers made up.
Yeah.
No.
Change the name. I love it.
Let's move this show along, guys.
So anyway, if we had a good time, Robert had a good time at Mexican, giving Kenny a hard time about his beer, and it was fun. But we had a great time.
The blisters. Is his blisters going down?
The cheese blister.
I know. Got cheese blisters on the back of my neck.
They spilled half a container of hot fajita cheese grease down Robert's neck as they're giving him, and they just kept serving it. And then they spilled water on him. So he decided he had to go with the Ultimate Man 2.9 carb beer. We call that Mississippi water. But he was guzzling. Good times.
We had a ball, man. I'm telling you what. Robert and I, we were talking about. We're like, man, we just got to have content for the show, and we did. I mean, we had some good content. I mean, everybody had expectations for us, other than us. We had no expectations. I think Lex and Ellen had expectations, and Robert, we just completely killed their expectations, didn't we?
I don't know. I don't think Lex had any expectations. Her expectation was to go shopping. And she did that. So
it was great. It is some good shopping there in downtown Greenwood. David doesn't have a life. No, poor David just gets to sit there and wait on us to bring him in. But it was good times. So, all right, Robert, give an update since David was supposed to send us the agenda. He had plenty of time to send us an agenda, did he not?
He did, and he is the FNG.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he didn't do it when we asked him to.
The FNG did not bring. Right? He's not pulling his weight right now.
It got lost in last week's stuff. I lost it over.
Well, you know, he goes through new jeans every day. So those new jeans that he had that he tucked it in, they're gone. It's in the trash.
Rip that, I threw them away. I wear a pair of jeans.
Yeah, he's never washed clothes before ever.
So it's kind of like drum. I like that. That's what I do. That's what I do with Gateway Drums.
This is exactly right.
I mean, why if he can get new ones, why wash them? You know, I mean, I'm with you, David. So Robert, go ahead and give us a little bit of background. What do you think about this weekend or barbecue or whatever is on your mind?
Like you said, Greenwood's a great contest. You definitely, if you've never done it, you need to do it. Even if you need to drive all the way from Collierville, Tennessee, you need to go. It's a good contest. Right, Wes? You drove that party.
I think I'm a little farther than he did, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe a mile or two, but, you know, he had ample time to make it. He chose not to.
Maybe there's not enough nice jeans to last that much of a time frame.
I'm telling you that David Lindsay store, David would make it all worth it.
From what I understand, it was not jean weather.
No, it definitely wasn't. Maybe jean weather. I don't know.
It was cut off blue jean short weather, though, so you'd have been fine.
No, but hey, Greenwood's a great contest, especially if you're up near turn-ins like you are, and Paul and Lynn, Rooters and Tutors at Hot Coals and Smoking Sweet Meats. Usually when we come, we're stuck in the back 40. In fact, that's where you were, Wes, right?
I was past the back 40. I actually had to help move the water barriers. Yeah. So, but I was okay with that. That was good. I paid my dues. If I don't move up next year, that'll be the last time I go.
And we'll get to
Uber to turn in.
But we'll get to it. But I'm sure that rest time helped your chicken, though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
That and good tables.
But it's a big field of teams. There's a lot of great teams. 76 teams, I think, this time.
Which was down.
Yeah, but still, that's a lot.
Oh, it's a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like, as good as that is, they were down 15 teams. I mean, they normally have 90 teams there.
So can I ask you guys, because you're veterans there, and you know, before, didn't they require the vendors to turn in? And that's what changed this year, is they didn't require them to. I heard somebody tell me, maybe someone in the comments can mention, but I heard before they used to make the vendors turn in, and now
the vendors always did turn in.
Okay.
And
I don't remember.
But I don't know because I know some of the guys didn't turn in this year. But yeah, Jason says correct. So Wes being the new guy knows all the rules. I mean, this guy, he is in the middle of everything. If you need to know anything that's going on anywhere, just call Wes. He is in the middle of it all.
I just like to know my excuses before I go into things. That's all. You know, I like to know my out. So that's it.
That's fair. So, David, what did you do this weekend while we were all out cooking, having a good time? What did you do this weekend?
I was sitting at the lake drinking margaritas, smoking a cigar.
That's about it. And you could have been in 100-degree weather cooking barbecue.
I do have a question. Y'all had a great time, and I think Hannah and Alexis were pretty successful at the their competition stuff. And how did what did Alexis win, Wes? What was their overall prize, and what happened? So
this is some things that sometimes you don't like to share with your barbecue fam.
Come on.
Matter of fact, let me get another plug on this before I tell the story, and it'll be really quick. Alexis got to win, you know, her group, which was awesome. She won $200 cash. So we're cleaning out the barbecue trailer today, and she asked for her money, and it's been thrown away in the trash.
Oh, no.
So not only did she win, I'm out another $200 because she informed me that I'm paying her that $200 because she won it and I lost it. So I'm now $200 out, and we have done everything, and we kind of remember how it got thrown away. So if you're still in Greenwood, South Carolina, if you go to the back end, there's a trash can there. There's $200 cash in that trash can. Have at it.
Have at it. Go get it.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, Robert,
Twice this week.
Robert, we're struggling around. We're doing everything we can, trying to get calls. Wes is out there throwing away money.
I know.
We are struggling just to get by, and our guests that we have on tonight are like $200. Throw it away, honey.
Don't even take it out of the envelope. Just throw it away so they've got a reusable envelope they can use later. Yeah. So that's what I found out today. So I let David know.
How much money did Hannah win any money with her dessert call?
Oh, absolutely. She won $300. She pulled in third. Yeah. And then Alexis got $200 cash. And I pulled in a nice $35 10th place chicken. So I got half the dinner that night. And then I had to pay my daughter $200 out of my own money. Good times. Discovery Festival was great.
So what you're saying is, if it wasn't for your wife and daughter,
absolutely. If they pulled us this time, and if anybody that I'm close with knows, we can't do well together. So I purposely sometimes try to sabotage them. If Hannah and Alexis get calls really high up, I will sit. But if they bomb, watch out. We're in the running for it. So whenever she won and Hannah got called up there, I knew then, I was like, if we just get a call, it's a win.
And what happened? Who was the very first call of the weekend?
We did, and I had high hopes because I was super excited. Look, there's no excuse for this week. I mean, I don't think we bombed it by no means. I don't think any of us, did terrible. I really felt that we had some stuff that would compete. I truly did. People asked, how'd your cook go? And my answer was, I was disappointed that I wasn't disappointed, because usually if I'm mad, we do well. And if I think I did well, we usually sit down. So I would turn in everything all year long exactly and twice at the Royal. That's how happy I was with our turn in. So I left feeling good about what we did. But I knew when they got called and we got our first call up there, and when we didn't hear anything in ribs, I said, yeah, we may sit the rest of this one out. So, and that's what happened. But that's okay.
Well, so David, did you at least watch the videos or anything?
I definitely watched the live feed. It's funny to hear the kind of comments and see people's comments as they type stuff in and watch the people walk. And I mean, just like any other contest, you kind of get nervous for your barbecue family, and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool, and you want to hear their names. It's fun, and see people walk by, and not seeing some people walk by, you're like, interesting. But it's really kind of hard to keep up with who got called and where kind of people are. But
you knew really early that we didn't get any calls for a long time, right?
Yeah, I didn't hear a lot of I didn't hear a lot of Chewin the BBQ Fat, but you never know, man. You never know. Hey, like you said, those big events, anybody could win with no calls or very, very few calls. So
So speaking of, Robert, what is your average chicken score for the year for the past 2 years?
Man, I don't know. It's mid 170s, maybe
179.
Yeah, who knows? I'd have to look. I haven't looked at a while barbecue data, but yeah,
let's say
maybe 173-ish.
173. Okay, let's say 174 would be for you a bad day. And what did we get in chicken this week?
I don't know. Probably 166. I don't even remember what the score was. I didn't even look.
So I'm saying
I'm on the road to barbecue retirement, so I don't really look at that stuff anymore.
He's at the last little bit of his career here now.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, look, y'all all know how much pressure I feel cooking with Robert, right? Just Chewin the BBQ Fat thing is absolutely incredible. It's so much fun for me. I love it. But there is a lot of pressure that I put on myself. Robert doesn't put any pressure on me. Lex doesn't put any pressure on me. There is no expectations. they know that I'm going to bomb them in my categories. So when
What
all
was
this
him,
happened-
huh?
so when we were at Sipping Swine, boom, chicken call, rib call, he's just relaxed. He's like, I knew I did my job. And then we were fortunate enough to get some calls, whatever. This week, he just looks at me after chicken like, oh, man, sorry, bud. And I'm like, dude, it's all right. No big deal. You got 11th. It's cool. Like you're chicken. You're the chicken guy. All good. And then we both thought the ribs were good, right? Like we thought ribs were good. So then we go through and get no rib call. I was like, oh, crap. What is going on? This is not right. Something's wrong. Because Robert always gets ribs too. I mean, he gets rib calls like it's his. I mean, I think his average in ribs is 177.5. I don't know, something along those lines.
So full of shit.
So then all of a sudden, pork. I felt like my pork was good. I thought I came through for the team, had some decent pork, and nothing in pork. Got smoked in pork. And then we get to brisket. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, Lord, please let us get something. And as Wes was saying earlier today, I think we might have been the last name they called when they called in no particular order the teams.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we're sitting there like, oh, my gosh, we just like, not that we had any expectations of winning or any of that kind. I did. But I was hoping to get a call. And we came through, did we not, Robert? We came through with a call.
Good job.
And that was a good teamwork category too. Again,
teamwork makes the
dream work.
Hey, Brian, can I say before we went to awards, Robert, you may remember this, you may not. You actually ranked y'all's categories. Do you remember ranking what you thought was going to be the best to last?
No, I thought chicken was bad. I know chicken was bad, and then we thought brisket was down there too.
You said pork, ribs, chicken, and brisket.
No, it was the other way around. It was pork, ribs, brisket, and then chicken. We knew that chicken was bad. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I thought it was brisket bad, but you kind of, and the way I ranked my stuff was exactly opposite of how it. So it just goes to show you that we just don't know what the hell we're talking about.
We don't know what good barbecue is.
Absolutely not.
Obviously.
I was talking to my buddy Adam Doggett. He's on here watching. I think Adam's watching. Either Adam or Tanya. One of them's watching. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I need to go practice chicken because I got to cook chicken at some point in time. And I was like, and I told him, I was like, I don't know why I'm going to cook chicken and practice it because I don't know what's good chicken or not. So, I mean, I thought our chicken was pretty good. I told Robert, like, I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was pretty good. Like, I didn't know.
When I tasted the ones that were left, they were definitely bland. I wound up cooking, half my chicken was frozen anyway. And then half it I was able to get some fresh pieces in there, but it just didn't take on any of the flavor from the brine or the injection. And usually when it doesn't do that, which is rare, thank goodness. But
I will say, part of your problem was you had that janky Jarvis power, and the WSM was not running right.
Oh yeah, that was a nightmare. But we came. You know what? We came back from that. We wanted to put on the pellet grill after it got covered, or towards the end, and it worked out. So who knows?
And then you did get a lesson from Kenny O'Shields on when your ribs are done, right?
Yes.
You want to share that lesson? Anybody want to share this lesson?
Sure.
Robert, come on. Show the lesson, please.
His
Kenny,
lesson,
is it okay?
His lesson for me to show that when ribs are done, you pull out the end bone and throw it at your neighbor.
I look over, I hear something going on, and I see just a bone, just a dry bone sitting at Robert's feet. I was like, and I hear, that's how you know a rib's done. I was like, wow, that just, I mean, it's so much fun when you get to cook. When you get to cook with your hero, your mentor, and the professor himself. It's amazing all the different people that come in and start talking to you more, and you get more information given to you. So if anybody ever gets a chance, go do what you can to cook with somebody that's like top notch, like Robert and Lex. They're not going anywhere else. They're part of Chewin the BBQ Fat, but hey, I'm very blessed.
He's very popular, isn't that, Brian? And he doesn't know this about, but I've looked up to him from the get-go. So there's 3 photos on my office wall. There's Chris Kyle, there's Chuck Norris, and there's Robert Vanderride. And I'm telling you, that's the only 3 people in my office.
I'm just trying to figure out why those other 2 are on up there with Robert. I mean, that's not even right. Like, I mean, those 2 don't have any room to be near him.
Hey, I got one thing to say. You're just a little stinker.
I'll never live it down. Even when he gets put into the Barbecue Hall of Fame, you will hear a little stinker over the.
Oh man,
I just want to thank little stinker.
But you got to pat him on the head. So if anybody's ever around West, at the next contest you go to, I would love for you. I would love to hear that, David. Will you make sure this happens? I would love to hear you tap him on the head and be like, "How you doing, little stinker?" And that would just make it. That would make everything great for us.
And give me $200 cash, please. I need that back too. Go fund me in the links.
Wes is a fighter. I wouldn't want to put that on anybody. I think
he's just a little stinker. He thinks he's a fighter, but he's not. He's just a little stinker, David.
I'm just a field filler, man. I just show up. I not only give the money to the rest of the teams, I give them to the homeless people. I just spread it up.
Jason Cole's on. How you doing, Jason? Yeah, he's
my man.
Congrats to him this weekend. Yeah, he did great this weekend.
He was on fire, and I believe he ended up dropping his drums, like all 4 of them, right, Jason? So I knew he was going to have a good cook then. Whenever all of his drums fell.
But that's a long drive from Texas. He's a Texas boy. So,
he is a Cowboy.
I know that Jason is from Texas. Galveston, Texas, I think is what they said. But yeah, he was proud of that. He was proud to be from Texas there for a little bit.
I think you corrected him pretty quickly.
I think he started to sing Rocky Top, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he's got the Voles thing or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Voles. Oh my gosh.
That's what they said, David. I thought it was Vols, like the Volunteers or something like that. Whatever. Are you a Tennessee fan, David?
Yes.
Sick.
Yes. Why wouldn't you be? I mean, it's God's country where that team comes from.
The only time that
aren't you way on the other side of Tennessee?
Yeah, we are, but that's just by happenstance. It's okay.
He's in Memphis. Show him your pistol. Hold it up.
There's some street wars out there right now. I watch street racing every day in the neighborhood.
Don't have to on TV. It's just there. All right. So Wes and David, I know y'all are real close. Y'all are buddies. Or at least sometimes you are.
We're all buddies.
What is some of the things that y'all have going on that you want to share with people? Do y'all have anything that y'all just joke around with, inside jokes that we need to know about? Would be awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of none that we can tell on this show.
No. Let's see who's watching tonight.
We need everybody under 30 to click off now.
We've come up with a lot of hashtags out in the barbecue world. Some are appropriate, some are not appropriate. They're just little sayings that you kind of see people. You're like, oh yeah, this quirks about stuff. But in general, we have a good time. But we have a good time with everybody though. And it's what's funny about our group. Not our group, but the group. Everybody in general. Everybody can take a joke really well, and everybody can put it back on you too. So Robert's probably the hardest person to read. Honestly, Robert. I mean, you give Robert a hard time, and I swear he just wants to stab you in the back of the neck. But he'll come back. He'll come back with a good, funny little quip, little stinker, stuff like that. But in general, everybody that we visit with, you give them a hard time. They don't, no one takes it too personally. So, we have a good time, I guess.
I agree with that. I think for all of us, and that's why we're all friends. And man, you hear this all the time. We're just doing barbecue. It doesn't matter if you're the king of barbecue. At the end of the day, you're still cooking barbecue. Let's just have fun, enjoy fellowship. Nothing that is said is that serious. It doesn't matter if you beat me, I beat you. It's going to change every other weekend. We just like to sit back and have fun. So these are like little vacation weekends for us. I look forward to them. Yes, Robert is definitely the hardest one to read because you don't know if you pissed him off. You don't know if he's ever going to come back around. You don't know. And, he's military, so you don't know if he's coming behind you. I mean, the guy.
I think he's mad right now.
I leave him alone, and then he gets upset that I leave him alone. I just don't want to upset him. I need him in my life. So, Robert, if there's a code word or anything you could give me,
he's muted.
Let me know, and I'll back off. Sometimes I talk too much to you, and I think you leave. So
watch your back.
He's like, I won't even say it. Well,
but it's funny that point though, Brian. It's funny because Brad Leininger will get on here, and he and Wes go back and forth like two kids in a playground. And like you said, it doesn't matter who you are in the rankings of barbecue society. Everybody takes a good jolly laugh at themselves and everyone else. And honestly, if you think you're doing this for the notoriety and not for the fun of the game, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I mean, you got to be able to laugh at yourself, just like anything else. You got to be able to laugh at yourself and laugh with others. That's what makes the whole thing so much more fun, because no one wants to stick in the mud to, at these contests and knowing that, somebody sits over there by themselves and sulks or whatever. Like, come on, everybody. We're like I said, we're just cooking barbecue. It's not a big deal. Who cares? Yeah. We're spending a lot of money doing it, but it's fine. Just like anything else.
Ask yourself this. Can any one of you guys remember who won 3 contests ago?
Well, I did. 3 contests ago.
Well, I actually may have set that up. I know I have forgotten it, but no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. There's no sense in getting mad about it. Enjoy it. If you're the best in barbecue and you're out of it for 2 years, you're forgotten. You just are. So, I mean, the best of the best like to have. I love going back and forth with Brad. He's awesome. He doesn't take it serious. He doesn't think he's better than anyone. Chris Schaefer the same way. We give each other a hard time every time we're around. It's a blast, and that's what makes it so much fun, and that's why I still do it. It's not about the notoriety. Yeah, it's great to win once a year and then get the show canceled on you. I love that. That's what it's about.
Who was this guy down here in the bottom right corner?
My one time I want to come on and talk about my win, you will notice that Brian will cancel the show for 2 straight weeks. I mean, just bring that up, Brian.
I mean, but I will not miss one if Robert wins or David wins. I'm not. We will have a special. There will be a special on just so we can make sure that happens. But Wes, on the other hand, just something always comes up. It's amazing.
And I'm okay with that. I know my place. I know where I run in the group, and I'm never going to try to get ahead. Don't you sigh, Robert.
You little stinker. It'll be all right. All right. So you're the man, Wes. All right. So this week, I've made a comment in the past how I feel like the competitions are changing a little bit. It's all about getting back together. People are having fun. Thursday night we had a group. We were out till 2:00 in the morning, which is I don't do that normally. Ellen's like, "Are you coming to bed?" But we had a great time. We got to hang out. We did then Friday night we had a potluck, and it was great. We had people from all over the country there. We had them from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee. I mean, we were all over the place. And it was a bunch of people coming in together, having a good time. And I just remember sitting there saying, this is what this is all about. This is so much fun. And yeah, it didn't get to last long. But it was just getting everybody together, having a good time, relaxing for just a little bit and saying, we're all here together having a good time. And what's so cool is any one of those people you could call and talk to and be like, hey man, I need something. And they'll do anything for you. That's what's so cool about barbecue. Yeah, Kenneth, I am quite the party animal. I was having to be held back by Robert this weekend. I mean, he was going hard. I mean, it was like we were just going. We were just having a great time, partying like crazy.
Well, the honesty is he didn't get in party mode until I left, right? Because I get a bit early, so I think.
And I did not want to disappoint my
Thursday
partner.
I left, and then you go into party mode. Friday I left, And I thought you were going to bed so we could have the best cook ever. And you're out there partying.
Dang.
This is
I
true.
wasn't asleep. I went to bed at 9:30, fell asleep about 10, and I get a call at 11:37 at night. Phone's ringing. I'm like, what the heck? Jason Singletary calls me for something. And I'm like, he's like, did I wake you up? I'm like, no, I am so, I was out. I thought for sure something happened. But yeah, like I was asleep. I was asleep, partner. I tried my best. I gave it everything because I had the big meets. I had to get up early. I was the one that had to get up early, get those big meets on before dawn. Well, no, I can't say I did that. But I had to get up early-ish and get going. So I went to bed early. I did my job. Did not want to let anybody down. But unfortunately I did. I did.
He mentioned the dry brisket, and that bothered you pretty bad throughout the day.
I was devastated. Like, so if there's anything that like you feel like you have a good product, right? Like I try it. I was like, okay, that's not bad. It's going to be okay. We'll put some au jus on there. We'll hit it with whatever. And I think it'll be all right. And then I let my partner taste it. He takes a bite. Y'all just imagine what this is like. If you have somebody that you're just thrilled to death to be cooking with, having a great time, and they take a bite of it, right? Like, this is why I struggle letting people try my food, because it just hurts. And he takes a bite. You just see it in his face, like,
He was disappointed.
He's so full of it.
He's like, why didn't I cook this? If I would have
Crushed him.
we would have done way better. He goes, that's dry.
Did he hit you with a little? What did
He's
you
like,
do?
"Gross." He goes, that's gross.
Like, what is that flavor?
Yeah, he goes, that's awful. Do you have another brisket we can try? And I'm like, man, we got turned in like two.
True. That is
Hey,
not
he
true.
was a little hurt that you mentioned dry though. I'm being
I was not hurt.
disappointed. Disappointed.
I was disappointed that I let down my teammate, and that it's crushing, right? Like, you're like, oh, like you just want to pull through and prove that you belong.
You know for a fact that brisket wasn't that marbled from the beginning.
I know it wasn't. Yes,
And it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't as moist as like one of those really heavily marbled briskets.
Did you bring like a great seed?
And I'm more. We're teammates, right? I'm critical on myself when I compete. A smoke me silly. Guess what? I'm going to be critical. Like I said,
I was not upset that he was critical.
Yeah, like
I
my
was
chicken.
upset that I let him down.
I was the only one that said our chicken was crap. I think out of everybody.
Yeah,
it was crap. We got 49th in damn brisket, so it was crap.
Yeah, see, Kerry can explain it. I had to get up really early. He said I didn't see him till 10 a.m. Oh, that's right. You didn't see Robert till 10 a.m. on Friday. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I stayed 20 minutes away or 30 minutes away.
Yeah, he partied. He left us. See, he said that I waited for them to leave. He left our place so he could go party. Like, it was
right.
There's no doubt. I don't know how you couldn't see him in those very nice. What color would you say that was on the award shirt?
Orange.
Is that orange?
They don't match.
What's that?
What color did you say that was?
I said like a pretty salmon color.
That's salmon. I would go with salmon. It's nice.
It feels special when I wear it. Ellen, you just wanted me to feel special when I wear that shirt.
But it did match. I did hear, oh, that's a nice orange. No, I did. Somebody said that's a nice orange tint or something along those lines. And I was like, well, you say that again, just so we can make sure that that's out there.
Doesn't say it's pink.
He wasn't there. He doesn't.
I thought it was pink. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was a pink.
It's orange. It's orange. Shut up, little stick.
But it was successful at Sip and Swine. It's for the record. It did well at Sip and Swine, so you got to wear it again, right? No matter what you do.
Yeah,
true.
They
didn't have them together though, David. The difference is, I thought you guys all had them together.
Yeah.
Sip and Swine. Was I right? Am I right or wrong about that?
We all wore the same thing.
They were separate. He wore his tan one, and Robert wore the salmon color.
Mine's more of a grayish.
Okay, tan gray. You got a call because you got one call because you didn't link up, man.
Well, here's what happened. Ellen
That's what
tried
we did
hard
at
to
Tippet's
get
one,
an orange
didn't
shirt. She tried to get orange, and she failed. Okay, we tried.
She failed.
We tried. I mean, we all felt bad, but they look good in them, so we're just rolling with it. Kenneth, he did spit it out. Don't.
I did not spit it out. You're full of shit.
Well,
Look, that brisket had great flavor. It did, but I thought it was a little on the dry side. But you know what? Lex said no. It's fine, and she's usually right every time.
you're right. Now,
fine.
Lex did say, because I put a lot of stock in when she says something's good or bad.
We all do.
She did say that the pork that you turned in was really good. So I really expected y'all to win pork because you're already an awesome pork cook. Lex said it was really great. I think, Robert, you even said it was decent, which is saying it's great.
Look, I said the pork was good. It was definitely sweet. Man, the syrup, it might have been waiting in syrup at Sip and Swine. Oh, man, it was swimming. I mean, holy moly.
I got the bigger bottle. I brought up the bigger bottle this week.
Good.
Right.
And he used it too. He used it.
Every drop. Well, just so you guys know, y'all are starting a little trend here with the whole teaming up.
Good.
Because there's been other people talking about doing it. I've had some conversations. Now we know we can't split you guys up unless that's possible. Robert, are you gonna go around and help people, or are you just Team Brian? We need to know tonight. You're just Team Brian? Okay.
I'm just Team Brian. Yeah.
You just broke a lot of hearts tonight.
For cash, she'll go anywhere.
for cash. All right.
But it feels good. It feels good knowing that Robert has chosen me, right? Like I feel blessed about all this. Now the good news is nobody ever asks me to cook with them. So like for Robert to be like, it's okay to cook with me. I mean, it's special. I'm not gonna lie. But the whole thing of like Wes is like, I'll ask anybody other than Brian to cook with because that's a disaster. So
no, absolutely not. I have inboxed every great cook in this country asking. No one's replied but one person, and that was David. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. We're going to team up here soon. That's why he's my guy. I mean, he's got my back. Jordan,
what are y'all cooking? When are y'all cooking together? Let's hear it tonight on Chewin the BBQ Fat.
We really have chatted about it. We just don't know when we're going to do it, and if it's going to be a big contest or we want to do a small contest. We have no clue. But I think what you guys are doing is really fun. I see it takes a lot of weight off up now. It puts more pressure on Brian because I get the fact you don't want to upset Rob. Robert's got more GCs than I have cooks total. So I would be upset as well. But I don't know, David. You want to make one next year?
I think it'll be a next year decision for sure.
Absolutely.
But at the end of this year, there's a lot of big cooks. I mean, who wants to go to the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic and team up? You got to be an individual thing right there, right? Plug. Yes, thank you. Yeah, plug them. Yeah. So, but yeah, it'll be definitely a next year decision on that.
And I do think we have the team. I think Matthew came up with a team name.
Oh my God. I just saw that. God. We're not doing that.
I can't go with that. I don't want to be known as a little stinker too. Little stinker son or something. I don't want to be that guy. That's so crazy.
Little big stinker.
Little big stinker. That's terrible.
We're not naming the team tonight, guys. So just stop. But we are going to do that. We talked about this, and I've told you, Brian, on many occasions. I watch what you guys do, and y'all do make it fun. I mean, you're not teaming up permanently yourself, but you guys have a good time because you got two meats. You take a lot of pressure off of it, and everybody wants to see it. And you've already granted one, so yeah, we're gonna do it. And why not do it with a few people? Switch around and just see how it works out. So I think that's going to be a trend you see happening. I know what is that? Teddy Camp did it down in Florida. They've done it a few times, so. I think it's a great idea, man.
I mean, the way I kind of figured, Brian, with Joel cooking the ribs, would be Wes has to do brisket and pork, Joel does ribs, and I get up about 10 o'clock and start doing chicken. Perfect. Yeah, I think it's going great.
That is the brisket cook right there. He's cooking brisket.
So now, hold on a second, Robert. We had this discussion this weekend, and they're killing it in ribs, are they not?
Who is?
David and Joel.
Oh yeah. Joelle is.
Joel's
killing it in ribs.
She's doing
Okay.
good. She's got it figured out. She's doing ever since Lebanon, man. She's been on a roll. She's been getting after it. Brisket has really failed here lately, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, we've been fortunate. Those classes we took have helped out a lot, and cooking with confidence, man. That's what it takes, right?
Yeah. David is on cocktail duty, so you're on cocktail duty.
We can make cocktails down. Yeah, Brian, don't you worry about that. No, we'll make some margaritas, pina coladas, and Manhattans, whatever you want.
All right, so let's change gears here a little bit because there's another big contest coming up. I guess it's coming up. To me, it's coming up because I think it's my next cook. We've got 2 months, but anyway,
Your third cook.
Fourth.
Yeah. It'll be my second as Atlanta barbecue store, and I guess third, fourth of the year. So the American Royal's coming up, and we're gonna have the Chewin the BBQ Fat compound, is what we're gonna call it, right, Robert? We're gonna have the Chewin the BBQ Fat compound. We're gonna have Smoke Me Silly Atlanta barbecue store teams cooking next to each other, but we're gonna name the compound. We're gonna have the compound. So, David, are you gonna be the bartender cocktail server at the compound?
Bet. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Especially on Thursday night. It'll be a Thursday night throwdown, and Robert will be partaking of. What do you want, Robert? Shots? Do you want
I'm in bed by 7 this time. Sorry.
shots? I mean, 7, whatever. Yeah, you lock yourself out of your RV again.
Stop letting me stay up at anymore.
Hey, by the way, this is what happened. I still you get your hat signed by people. Yeah.
Robert's got it on his too.
I still have the video of Robert dancing. If anybody wants to see it, just inbox me.
I got one. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know I got my hat signed until the next day when you told me.
Robert's taking an extra set of RV keys as well. I'm going to hang on to them for him.
He's going to hand them to me.
I've got 6 of them all throughout.
Buries them in the ground at the Royal just every year.
So we will. So I'm just saying. Now we're going to try to have a good time. We'll do whatever. We're going to have the Chewin the BBQ Fat compound. We'll be there. If you're watching the show, come on, come say hello, hang out with us. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be. I love the Royal. I was telling Wes, like Greenwood this weekend or Festival of Discovery is like very small compared to what the Royal is. The Royal is that on steroids. I mean, just. We are going to have a blast. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Still working on all the logistics of all of it, but it's going to be a super class. I mean, a super time, and then all kind of good stuff. So we've got some. This is your opportunity, guys. We have Wes Garrett on, and he loves this. Robert, does he stir the pot at all?
Oh, he's the king.
He's the king.
Oh,
so now is our opportunity to go after Wes and get any questions that he has, and any questions that you have. Not go after Wes, but ask him anything, and I will make sure that he answers it. Truthfully.
True.
Oh, good. Jason Cole's going to the Royal this year. That's awesome.
Nice.
Truth what? Truth.
Yeah, truth be told, another inside joke, guys. Don't let David catch up to one of your sayings that you may say more than once. He'll show up with a wine bottle that says it on there. So, yeah.
All right, I'll take care of it.
Oh,
I see you're about to crack the top 100. Way to go! All right, way to go, Aaron.
Oh, Aaron, yeah,
Aaron won not long ago.
Yeah, she did. That's great. ABS class. We need Wes Garrett's Starbucks order.
Oh gosh, yeah, West Garrett. No, Aaron, talking about Colorado, one time a year we do like to. I don't know if you guys have always done this. I know, Robert, you've traveled a good ways. We want to try to do a contest out of our comfort zone, and just like, to me, I've never cooked in South Carolina. That was a 10, 12-hour drive for us, but we want to do those, and that's not counting the Royal. The Royal will always be there. We're going to do that, but I want to venture out, maybe cook in Oklahoma, get into Texas, maybe do a Colorado and turn it into a vacation or something. I don't know. I would love to get out there and do that. just see what we can do in those different territories. Get up to Indiana, Illinois. I know you guys have cooked at some wineries up there. I've seen the last few years. Seemed pretty fun.
Who did the winery? So Robert did the winery, didn't you?
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember where that was. Somewhere in Illinois, I think. In fact, I think it happened this day last year, about around the 10th of July.
They still doing that or not? Obviously,
No, they stopped doing that.
The winery is no longer. Jordan,
Yeah, they had trouble getting teams the last time. So,
Death's Door is one of them up
Yeah.
in the island that you got to take the ferry over. I will be doing that in the next couple of years, as long as it doesn't go away. I think that's super cool. I believe they only take 25 teams, maybe. I don't think it's big enough to do a lot, but we want to go out and drive to one big one, even maybe do the DC one in the capital. That looked really cool until I was told what it costs to get in this thing. Not cheap, but one a year outside of our comfort zone.
All right, so can we get back to the question? When you go to a Starbucks, what do you order? Because I have a feeling it's probably a complicated order.
No. It's a vanilla skinny latte. No. It's usually just a caramel macchiato. Yeah, and I'm okay to say that's what I get. And it's not like I have a dialect or anything. So I speak the King's English. You can understand me very clearly. And they just cannot get the name correctly. I've even spelled it for these people, and it doesn't matter. It's coming wrong. It's coming with a T. It drives me crazy. It even happened at in some of these drive-throughs. So I blame it on the speakers.
I have a feeling, David, what is your Starbucks order?
I've never darkened the door to Starbucks in my entire life. I'm not that guy. I'm a Keurig guy at best.
Ask him how many mani-pedis he gets in a month.
Man, that ain't me either, man. I don't know. I ain't never touched my feet.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, Robert?
What's that?
What were you gonna say?
Robert just wants to get off. He wants to go to bed.
I don't drink coffee, so.
Hey, back to the question up there about Jordan's question about how many times does Wes clean his Old Hickory? I think how many rolls of aluminum foil do you go? How many you go use some aluminum foil to do that, don't you?
Yeah, I'm weird about I first of all, I like to make things. I try to make things simpler and easier, but I tend to make them harder. So I line the inside of my Old Hickory with aluminum foil, and that keeps it clean, and that keeps it so when I clean it, all I do is just pull aluminum foil out. It looks brand new. I even line the inside of the firebox so that whenever I go to clean it out, I don't have to vacuum it. I just pull the foil out, and it's completely clean. It takes me time to do that. I do clean it, and I use my my stainless steel wipes through the cook because I usually might drip something on there. Am I OCD? Absolutely.
Well,
if I could get away from it, I would.
Robert, we had this conversation with Hannah, right? I think you were there. He is right in the middle of turn-ins, and he has to get his Lysol wipes out to clean off the counter before he even turn. He would be willing to miss a turn-in to make sure that there is not a drop of sauce in that trailer. Is that correct, Robert? Or were you there when she was talking about this?
He may have been.
Not only that, but he has those damn plugins, and it smells like a freaking rose garden.
That is also.
Like, I don't think he can tell what's a good barbecue or not because that's all you smell is that coconut, mango, whatever the hell.
Vanilla Hawaiian blossom, by the way. So I have gotten rid of those. I have regulated them just to the second and third room, and I shut the door so they're not in the cook area anymore because you have messed with my head on that. And we did start doing better when I removed them. So maybe it was even something on there. I don't know. But
do you have a Roomba?
What's that?
You have a Roomba also that runs in there to sweep up the floor?
No, I do have a Dyson. I do have a Dyson. I have to vacuum, but I do in between categories. I do take the whole counter, move it off, clean it, and put a new sheet out there because I want to start fresh. I don't want any sauces, nastiness. Like I said, it's the way the good Lord made me, and if I could change it, I promise you I would. But whenever I flooded the trailer in Jonesboro, I wasn't going to turn in chicken until I had it cleaned up. It was 45 minutes for chicken, and I was in there with every towel I had. and every mop, getting it cleaned up. And thankfully, I got it cleaned up before, and we were able to turn it in chicken.
That's awesome.
No, it's not. It's a pain in the butt. It's the way I'm wired.
Curse. It's a curse.
I am cursed.
Now, we've heard stories. Hannah was telling us stories about this, and it's all good. So you gave Jordan Jordan is still hurt that you haven't asked him to cook with him. He said he would cook with you if you would ask, but he went back and rechecked his inbox and all his text messages while we've been on the show, and nothing from you.
Jordan would be one of the first people I cook with, and it's in your junk mail. I promise you. Just check it.
However, so many people.
He is also a clean freak. He is up there. He's got the best music in barbecue. If you've ever been around him in his Saturday mornings when he puts on his playlist, if you not, first of all, make sure there's no kids around. He's going to pretty much get kicked out, but it's great music. But he's a clean freak as well. And yeah, me and him can definitely cook together. It's coming, buddy. I'm going to resend that.
Hey, but
Paul Kelber said nothing from him either. He doesn't have anything either.
Well, I can't be around Paul's dog. I can't be around that. His dog's a terror to my dog. It bothers me. So until he gets rid of Hank, we're not doing it. No Tibby around Hank. Let's just say that.
What's wrong with your dog?
Yeah, what's wrong?
It's his dog that has the problem. It's not my dog.
I saw Hank this weekend. He was fine.
Hank's good.
Yeah. Hank's not good. Hank has a problem. Until he goes and sees the vet, there's not going to be a Team Wesson Paul.
No, he got that all taken care of. You get the nip and tuck and all that kind of stuff. It's all gone now. I think he's good to go.
We'll talk about it, Paul.
Jason Cole.
I don't know if Lynn's going to let that happen.
Jason Cole hasn't seen anything either. So I think what we're seeing here is Wes has just made a big lie, whatever.
No.
Robert, did he reach out to you too? Behind my back?
Robert, that is an open invitation that'll never close. Until you take your last breath, I want to cook with you. I told you, buddy, you're actually in front of Chuck Norris. Chris Kyle, Robert, then Chuck, because Chuck is almost gone.
I'm too faithful to Brian Jarvis. Sorry.
Well,
that's what I'm talking about.
When he opens this storefront, he's not going to have any time.
I let him down. Even though I let him down this weekend. Still there.
You didn't let him down. I think you carried the team.
Yeah, he did. I got 49th in chicken.
That's all we've heard about.
Big 49.
He'd have been on his rig. It'll never happen.
I think next year Robert could do a joint cook with every cook he does next year. A joint cook with somebody.
I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat.
I'm telling you what, right? I mean, and I'm not just whatever. Robert thinks I just blow smoke up his butt. Whatever. It is fun. It is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I mean, I do. I don't feel comfortable enough. Is that Hank? Is Hank over there? The only categories I feel comfortable cooking at this point is pork and brisket. I don't feel comfortable cooking the other two, just because the pressure, right? Like, I mean, so, and it's not that Robert puts any pressure on me or anything, but I want to do good. Like we want to have while we don't have that high expectations, we do want to do well, right? It's not like we're like, hey, let's screw it, right? We do want to do well. So there is that. But so we did discuss at Pussyq, we're going to keep the same categories, correct?
Probably, I guess. Yeah.
Probably, I guess.
That's fine.
So excited.
That's fine. You said that's fine. Whatever. Maybe I'll switch it up. Switch it up, hey, Brian. Come on.
I'm good to switch it up. Brian Jarvis is afraid to cook chicken.
Very much so. I'm not gonna lie. I'm afraid of it.
Well, can I ask you guys a question? More to Robert and Brian. So I know you're disappointed in some of your turn-ins. What do you take from that? Do you say, hey, I need to change something up? I kind of know the answer. Are you going to make changes? Or are you just going to say, hey, it was just that cook or just those tables? What are you guys personally going to do?
For chicken, I don't like cooking frozen chicken. I've done it and done well, but I prefer to cook fresh chicken. I think it's more consistent as far as taken on that flavor from the brine and injection for me. Luckily, that whole lack of flavor thing doesn't happen that often. It's very rare. Unfortunately, it happened this past weekend. But.
Sure.
So I do have a question, Robert, and maybe I should ask this afterwards, but I'm going to ask it now because we're teammates. You said that you thought it was the frozen chicken, and it didn't have the flavor. Would you think it would be a better idea to let it brine longer if it's frozen chicken, or would you not mess with that? Or is that going to affect more of the tenderness?
I don't know. Who knows? Like I said, I've done frozen chicken before, and it was fine
and done well, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So, but I really think the true factor in that whole chicken issue was the damn Polynesian wood you made me use. Polynesian charcoal. Where'd you get that stuff from?
Some of the best charcoal in the business. I love it.
You only can buy it in one place in Georgia. Nobody else sells it.
I know. And you're about to be able to.
They bring it on the boat, and then they put it in a bag, and you buy it.
Exactly. And I love it. It's
Polynesian charcoal.
I mean, it's my fault. I'll take the blame. Look, it's on me. He asked me to bring the charcoal. I brought him some charcoal. It obviously failed us in chicken. Chicken bombed. Chicken bombed for us. I mean, we had an opportunity for a top 5 finish right there.
I know.
Adam says it's the best you can buy, so it must be some good charcoal.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good charcoal. What's the name of that stuff?
Shut up. It's a yellow bag.
What? You can't remember the name of it?
Harder charcoal, I think is what it's called.
It's actually pretty good. I mean, it's got bigger pieces in it. But
Steve Smith, how you doing? Hey, Steve. You could say hey to me and Robert too. It's cool.
It's cool. Me and Steve are tight, so
yeah,
we're good.
Well, Robert, he just completely went right by us.
He did. I like that. It makes me feel good.
David, I mean, like nothing. I mean, we just saw him. We were practically like neighbors with them, and nothing.
And he didn't say a damn thing to you. Oh,
I mean, that's cool. That's cool. All right. So for me, you asked us that question, and I'm gonna say something too about it because I feel like I'm part of the team. I did contemplate not turning in bacon after this weekend. I've seen more and more scores winning with only money muscle. My bacon is pretty sweet. So therefore, I think the sweetness could possibly be going away. I don't know. I don't cook enough to know anything. I rely on all of y'all to say this stuff. Bacon is for breakfast. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm contemplating, and it's not necessarily because of this contest, because I don't cook enough, but I'm thinking about possibly just cooking straight money muscle. So, but I'm probably not going to change anything. I know for the Royal, I'm turning in bacon and money muscle. So we'll see.
Maybe you should just treat it just like brisket, where, you're not going to turn in the point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you might cook it, but normally you're not going to turn in burn ends. And I thought your money muscle could have stood on its own early.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't tell him this before he turned in the box?
You don't say those kind of things, Brian Jarvis. He loves his bacon. I'm telling you.
He does.
You see the smile on his face when that bacon's swimming in that syrup? Man, he's so happy.
Man, I'm just like a little bit more.
Man, it's like a syrup pool with all this meat in it, and you could tell he's in his element.
Crap.
There's obviously a whole just club of people that cook the Brian Jarvis pork, and they talked about it, how he shared with those guys, and there was about 7 people. I've yet to hear this pork recipe. Is this something we want to talk about tonight on the show before we close out? To just make people go through the whole show?
I'm just saying, if you're not using maple syrup, you're missing out. That's all I gotta say. Maple syrup.
That's the recipe, Wes. Syrup.
And injected with
syrup.
Maple syrup. Okay.
And rubbed with
syrup.
I mean, it's pretty easy.
Fair enough.
You're gonna get. I mean, I think that's the thing that's got us going. Listen to Paul. He says bacon is for breakfast. I mean, he's after me today. I love it. Grab that horn meat. I mean,
That horn meat.
the horn meat.
I don't even like that side of the pork butt now. Is people still cooking the whole pork? The whole butt?
Who all cooks the whole? I mean, I know there's people out there.
Turning ham.
My partner still cooks with the bone in. So like,
I got the room. Why not?
Why
Do
not?
you really?
I got the room.
Are you cooking it? Are you turning in anything off the side? Like, are you turning in horn meat?
No. Oh, heck no.
You just use it to maybe keep the moisture level up?
Who knows? I just cook the whole damn thing.
Are you just too lazy to cut it out?
It's compact pork butt, man. I'm not wasting any of it. I'm cooking that stuff and selling it when I get home.
There's that. That sounds right.
Yeah. It just doesn't.
Sorry, Justin Holt. I believe the answer is no. We're not delivering to Wise that I know of. Sorry. Okay. Keep going. I saw my wife come in. I asked her a question.
Levi Stokes is hating on the syrup, man.
Where are we at?
He said it's for pancakes and French toast. When you cook in the South,
But on the flip side, he also said to turn in tubes. So, whatever. He says tube.
Hey, I want to say, I feel better now because Jordan said he cooks full pork butts as well.
Where's that at?
I feel vindicated.
Hey, now I still cook the whole butts too. Big butts for life.
Thanks,
I mean, there you go. I mean,
as well. Well, now we're all wrong. Big money Jordan,
big money.
He's going to start a fad back. Everybody's going to get whole pork butts because of what he said.
That's going to be the problem teaming up with somebody. You're going to disappoint somebody now, right? I'm only cooking collars.
Robert, you know what I use, and because you almost had me change because I take your comments to heart, but I'm cooking just the money muscle. I'm doing it and showing it in two different ways, like a lot of people. And, if I can just concentrate on that one piece and try to perfect that. But I truthfully think some of the judges are catching on to it. And look, I could be wrong. And they're seeing it and they don't like it. I still get good scores with it every now and then, but more scores than I get bad scores. But I do think there's some judges out there that they see it and they're like, he's kind of cheating the system. Again, that's just my opinion. But I do like it. I mean, I can concentrate just on that. I cook 5 money muscles. And I mean, they're cut. They're trimmed out, ready to cut whenever they're done. And I try to get them as precise as possible.
Well, it shouldn't matter whether the judges like it or not, because if they're judging the way they're supposed to, it doesn't matter.
No, you're right. If we had it perfectly, you're exactly right. I just think there's a lot of subjectivity into it, and you're not supposed to judge off the next one that you ate. But sometimes I think the judges, and this isn't a knock on the judge, I'm a certified judge, and I catch myself doing this, so I can tell you where I go wrong is, if I'm going to give you a 9. And something I just ate was better. Sometimes I think I'm cheapening that 9 by giving you a 9 because that one was so much better. So, I think there's some of that into it as well. So, who knows? Maybe I'll start cooking a whole butt again here soon. See if it changes.
And I'll switch to money muscle only.
What's that?
And I'll switch to money muscle only then.
She's out of spite.
Paul's going for the
switch, right?
So this is crazy. This is awesome.
Well, Paul's the king of pork, man, right now. I don't think he can do any wrong.
Paul, like the awards were very strange at this contest. Like the chicken, they called the 9 up, and then they called 10. They called the first from the state or from the whatever the crowd. Ribs, they called all 10 up, including Paul. He went up there just because he was trying to will himself a call and ribs. He went up there without even asking. He just went up there. He knew that his ribs were that good that he should have got a call.
He knew they made a mistake.
Yeah, he knew they made a mistake by not calling him up there. And then pork, they called that one from the crowd too. And he just came up and he just went, boom. I did that. Like, I own pork. I mean, Paul, he knew that he had that thing. He's practicing his walk. I mean, and he did. I mean, it was awesome because I remember looking at Wes. I was like, no, Paul still hadn't been called yet for ribs, and he's up there. And then Jason Cole comes back just dying laughing. Right? Like, he thought they called his name and they didn't.
I don't think Lynn came back until after the pork call. So she stayed up there the entire time, just talking with people.
She knew that they had that. I mean, I don't get that. Like, my partner does. He's used to going up and back in the stage, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth up the stage, or Lex normally does. It takes a big call to get Robert on the stage. Y'all know that. But
absolutely.
I thought they said Rooters and Tutors. I thought I heard it as well.
I thought I heard it as well. And
I swore they said their name.
I thought I heard Rooters and Tutors as well. And then you thought, well, they're called all 10 up. And me and you were going like, no, they're supposed to only call 9. So who knows? But he got a big call after that. And I went back and looked at the results for the last 3 years. I want to say Rooters and Tutors is pretty damn consistent over in South Carolina. They're there every year. So it's their time to pop in next year.
Last year, I mean, and we had that conversation as they were walking away. They're like, man, I mean, I think they had a second or third, reserve, third place, something along those lines. And they had this look on their face. Like,
I love Bill's comment.
Oh my God, it's funny.
I heard you forever. It's amazing, Bill. I mean, I'm going to start trying that. Well, next time they do that in no particular order, and we've had this conversation, and I'm not a big fan of it. Like, I like just call top 10, just call in 10th place, blah blah blah. Let them walk up in 9th place. Like I like that. And I had at our contest. I love John Hale, our guy, and I was like, hey, look, man, let's do it the other way, and it's all good. And we changed it up, and it was good. But yeah, so I think you don't have that problem. I was like, man, they screwed this up because he's up there. The walk was too long, so I just walked with line. Bill's still walking up there for his rib call.
Yeah. That or chicken. He's going to kill one of them.
So anyway, yeah, Lex walks. All right. Does anybody else, before we get going, Robert is like, he's itching over there. It's bedtime. Does anybody else have anything you want to ask these three guys before the night's over? I mean, David is the FNG. I had to say it in my head what it was. So y'all go ahead and ask David some really good questions, and then Robert will answer for us, and we'll just knock it out of the park.
Anything brisket, you guys need to ask. That guy is actually a brisket master.
Sure. No, I'm changing it all up. Change my brisket up. It's all going different. Going different. No.
What are you changing? What did
you start from?
Yeah. What tells David? No, I haven't changed a single thing since we first started doing competitions. I have not changed my recipe one time. Not one time.
On your brisket, obviously.
On the brisket, yeah. But I haven't done anything. I mean, a little technique here or there, but flavor-wise, it's been the exact same thing since day one. Haven't changed a thing.
Look, David, I cook dry briskets, so
that gets called.
They're good.
Can you give me some help?
I think maybe if you leave the whole thing together and cook the point in the flat together, like the Texas style, and then cut right through it and put those big old pieces in there, that might keep a little moisture in there. Robert will be happier with you.
Okay, all right. No, for real. If I'm looking for some help, what would you tell me to do other than cook another brisket, which I'm not doing because I've been very happy with my briskets.
Gosh. You know what though? It's funny about our brisket has not been good lately, and mainly to do the briskets I've gotten have not been the best, as good as it had been in the past. Not as much fat in them, and you're right, Brian. It makes a huge difference if you're cooking a non-fatty brisket. You are limited to just a few pieces. I mean, the last one we cooked, where we were 11th, 12th, or whatever it was, there was there were 7 good pieces that were tender. I pulled out of there, but I knew that 2 or 3 of them just weren't as moist as the other ones, and so therefore my scores really showed that. So you can't get past moisture. I mean, you can inject it too much, but I don't know that that's going to help out your moisture as much as it is the fat content that's going to be in there. So it is what it's going to be. What's going to be. Sometimes with the piece of meat, and we struggle to find good meat all the time. And I mean, I've tried everybody's brand under the sun, and some are very similar, and some are not good at all. So, I wish I could say how all the money in the world is spent on good briskets and have a lot to choose from, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get through. I mean, I don't mind 11 plate brisket when you do everything else very well. So
I did feel better. My partner did tell me that I did my part right. It was just the meat was bad, or there wasn't much I could do. So
it happens.
I did feel a little bit better. I did feel a little bit better that I didn't completely.
You were vindicated some.
And you got a call, so there you go.
You guys got to walk the stage.
You didn't get a 49th in chicken, so that's a good thing.
49th in chicken.
Your other partner did that to you.
But I'm telling you what, I mean, we've laughed, like we've been going back and forth about how we were going to joke with each other about tonight, about what we did wrong or whatever, because that was part of what we were talking about with the show tonight was going to be going at it, having fun with each other. And I'm telling you what, it was a blast. We had a great time. I love cooking barbecue. I love cooking barbecue with friends. And I'm telling you, if you ever get to the point to where you're just like, you know what, let's just go have a good time and take off. Wes, David, y'all go do it, man. It's fun. I mean, it is fun. It's got like Robert doesn't get points, right? But he's not chasing for points this year. So it is what it is. So
Dylan, you were asking about the Jonesboro contest. I would love to cook Jonesboro. The problem is, the last I heard from them, they were moving it to the same weekend as the Royal because the organizer had reached out to me and told me, and I was trying to talk him into moving it the weekend prior like he did last year. And I think they had an issue with getting the bands, and they were booked for that weekend. So, no, unfortunately, I'm going to be in Murfreesboro that weekend because I will be at the Royal the weekend you're having Jonesboro.
I'm going to let somebody else answer Joe's question. Does everyone vote at the wrap?
I'd skip that one because I didn't want to be the idiot that didn't know what he meant.
The only thing I can think of is he's talking about, does he leave space instead of doing it tight? I don't know, Joe. If you can,
elaborate on that a little.
Elaborate on that, we'll get David to answer because he's the guru here. Jordan, Robert and I had this conversation all weekend. We're like, we can't ever get Wes to answer our phone calls. Like, what does it take to get Wes's attention? And we never came up with a solid solution, did we, for that?
Call me to be on your team, and I'll answer. Look, I'll do chicken. I can do better than 49th. I mean, let me do chicken. Let Robert. What are we going to move Robert to? Now, this is bad. You got a legend. We're trying to figure out what we're going to move him to. What are you going to let him cook, Brian?
I'm going to let it. Look,
we're going to allow the man.
I would let him cook all 4 categories, and as long as he could say I was part of the team. I mean, I would be happy with that. I mean, because we know, we know going into it that pork and brisket are at a disadvantage because I'm cooking them. Whereas if he was cooking it together, he's the guy.
I'm even okay if y'all all bring an extra shirt. So when you get a call, I can put it on and walk up with you and then go in the mine. So if I hopefully get a call, I can go up. I'm cheap like that.
Look, Paul has this whole thing figured out. Paul and Lynn, just when they start calling names, just start walking up there like you own it. I mean, that's the way to do it.
That is the new move. That is the new move.
Just
I'm going to Paul and Lynn this thing next time.
I mean, I think it's a little leg. That's what we'll get the attention. Oh, that's perfect. All right, so wrapping au jus with space. So I think what he's talking about is the boat. Instead of wrapping it tight, I mean, for me, I wrap in pan. Like I wrap my brisket in a pan. So I put my brisket into a pan and then I cover it with that. So pour
Same.
it.
Same. I mean, whatever space is in there, it's in a pan. There's no, for me, when I wrap mine.
Yeah, I put it in the pan as well with aluminum foil, then wrap it up tight inside the pan and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was probably cleaning. There's no doubt.
I will say though, if you are on the phone if you happen to get on the phone with Wes and also he's like, "Hey, I got to go. I'll call you right back." Right back means like within the week.
Well, it's in dog days.
Usually thereafter.
Dog minutes. Yeah, absolutely. So, I will get back to you, but it's going to be on my time. So just fair warning. But yeah, Jordan, we're gonna do one, maybe Murfreesboro. Let's think about that since you're there. So
No, he wants the apple by himself. You can't split an apple, can you, Robert?
Oh, we can. I don't know. Robert can split one. He's got what? That's only the.
Look at all the blind back there.
Out of you.
Did it on purpose.
I bought those.
Jordan's already backing out, so he's telling me no Murfreesboro. So we're doing the Royal.
Oh wow!
We'll do one of them. Just pick the invitation of the Open, man. Let's do
Jordan's coming. He's going to be at the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic this year. Not sure he knows that, but he's coming down.
That's big time there.
So, I mean, y'all talk about the Royal like it's a big deal. Y'all got to start talking about the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic. That is the one. Ask Brian Payton what is the most important contest to win. He will let you know right now the most important contest to win is the Atlanta Barbecue Store.
Absolutely. What is it? 35,000 this year?
No.
What is the prize?
What are you talking about?
50,000?
If you're not out doing BBQ for the pro side, man, this thing's going to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know. It's not happening though. We're trying to make money to give away to.
You may get Levi down there. Will you come, Levi, for 50K?
Hey, look, I'm trying to donate money back to the community, those in need. We're trying to help people, and give and raise some money to give back. During this time, we're also trying to give you cooks a great opportunity to have a fun time at a contest. So it's not always about the money. Sometimes it's about the camaraderie that you get to spend with each other. So don't forget that all the time.
I heard Melissa McLaughlin singing in the background for a moment.
Oh, there's no doubt. He looked straight into the camera.
He
right
did.
there. It was just so heartfelt.
In the arms
Robert, are you going to let him talk to me like this? Can you help me out a little bit?
Oh,
Robert has been looking at that clock because it's I can see it off of his glass.
I am so glad we went past the 10 o'clock mark. I mean, or whatever time it is. Yes, this is so awesome. 9 o'clock mark. So blew out that hour that we.
Yeah, and Brian just mentioned I did have to drive past the Buc-ee's in Leeds, Alabama twice. I could have used that $200. So bad. I hate a Buc-ee's. I love them, but I hate them.
Anyway, guys, it's been fun. I think we could do this all the time. Robert's had a blast. Y'all, I can tell you right now, for those that can't read Robert, he had fun tonight. He thoroughly enjoyed this. He looked forward to this all week. So y'all don't worry about it.
You know why it was the best night ever? Because the little stinker. That
We're not ending the show on that. We got another 30 minutes. Let's go.
That made my night right there.
Never. If I get my head patted at the next contest, swear to God, Robert.
Oh, you
and I are going to have so many problems.
We're going to videotape.
You know you are, man. Everybody's going to come up to you and do that.
When is your next contest, Wes?
It will be at the end of. I thought it was September, but it's end of August, and we call it Saltillo, Tennessee. So be up there, and then we do Goat Days in September, and then go up to Murfreesboro. Hopefully, see you there, Robert. You're going to cook that, right?
Where?
Murfreesboro, Illinois.
Nope.
Okay. So we're going to do that. I won't see Robert. Maybe he'll call me again at the Royal and set up lunch and not show up like he did 2 years ago. That was fun. I ate by myself. Big bowl of guac. Never showed up. Just like Brian when he invited us last week. Then we'll go to the Royal and do that, and then head down to Pusaki, man. And then I'm geared up to do the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic.
How about the Jack? Are you ready for the Jack?
You know, we'll see. Don't you jinx us.
Well, Robert is going to the Jack this year. To the
I know.
To the
draw.
To the draw.
I heard about that.
Not to the Jack. I want to try to go to the draw.
They won't let you go live, will they?
No.
I didn't think so.
Nope.
Well,
but it's a good time if you ever have a chance.
So he's going to call me to disappoint me. He's going to be like, guess what? You didn't make it.
You're going. So do you got, if you get drawn for Chewin the BBQ Fat, y'all just go as a team? What if you get done that? Well, I already answered my question. Never mind. Because I know Robert's going.
So if Robert gets to go, if he goes as Smoke Me Silly, he will go as Smoke Me Silly. Because it is number
7.
Number 7 for Mr. Robert and Lex. Smoke Me Silly 7 times going to the Jack Daniels.
Lucky.
I mean, that's not impressive. I mean, that's pretty good. Proud of you, buddy. You're doing awesome.
He's bound to win it, man. He's won everything in the world.
You just jinxed me. Thanks, buddy.
No, you are.
Do better, Robert. Be better.
One day.
Robert, if you're only
he's like, you got to get better, son. This get better.
You're only 2/10 away from winning the GC all the time. You're not far off. 2/10 away.
49th. If it was just a 48th chicken, we would have been up there on the stage.
Always.
Well, last question I have for you, Robert. If you do go to lucky number 7, will your mother be accompanying you this year?
Probably not. She has a boyfriend now, so she's busy.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that'll be for dull times up there. Got it. It was fun, man. She was definitely entertainment.
Thank you, Hannah. A little stinker.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I should have heard it coming from the side over here, and I didn't know what she was doing.
Perfect.
I blamed you well for that. Wes.
I figured there was something going on the side. That'll be the only patting on my head going forward. That means you too, Paul.
And if anybody can get a picture of this, that would be amazing. It will be on the Chewin the BBQ Fat show. I will have that like lead off the show. I'll figure out how to make a video, and that will be our video. Drunken
Aunt Deb just walks by and just gets in our conversation and ruins my barbecue life.
That's so
Y'all are the best. Thank you so much. I hope you had fun. I apologize deeply for going so long today, guys. This is not what we normally do. But y'all have a wonderful night, and we will see you next week on Chewin the BBQ Fat. Have a great night, everybody.
See ya.